Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Here's How I Black Bordered. This time we're tackling Midnight Mansion. Now as you can see here, I already black bordered that. That's because, well, I forgot to hit record when I did so the original footage is non-existent, but we're gonna run it back just because, why not? I didn't technically backboard this on camera, so I just figured why not redo it. Plus, it's not really a too hard map anyways, doing the kind of the same strategy as I did kind of in the unreleased version. Or I guess I should call it the unrecorded version. And so this does allow me to kind of refine my strategy just a little bit more here. And so we did have to buy level 2 on round 7 or else we couldn't actually end up beating it. I did try kind of multiple times with like many different targetings, but no matter what I did, I just couldn't do it. So I figured the best way is probably just to buy level 2 and then just kind of go from there. Anyways, let's get our Tack shooter here. I think this is a good spot for it. And so what we're gonna build this guy into, I think 202 is fine for now. And then we're gonna rush Alchemist on Sada. Actually, I might even skip faster shooting just to go for Alchemist earlier. Because as Tack won't really be doing a whole lot until we end up getting like Overdrive up. Alright, so Alchemist now. We won't get this guy up to Berserker Brew before round 15, but I think that should be fine. As we do have Leaping Sword if anything does get through. Alright, Berserker Brew acquired on round 21. Let's get this to 320 and then we're going to go for our Tack Sprayer. And this is all the buffs we're going to be getting on Sada. She's kind of served her purpose now, just for OP early game. I do kind of wonder if Quincy could maybe do a little bit better. I think he probably could if I had to guess, but I think I just won't really worry about it. As Quincy would have a better late game, the only issue is since we're not going to be going for like any, I guess, synergies with Quincy, I don't really know if like Quincy would really be all that much better than Sada here. Plus, it's just kind of like the perfect map for Sada anyways. Alright, Overdrive has been acquired. Now let's go for Berserker Brew, and then we're going to go for our village. Then once we do that, we can get Embrittlement up, then we can straight up save for Tack Zone. It's a pretty perfect map for Tack just due to this bend right here being absolutely kind of perfect. I didn't mean to remove that earlier, but whatever. I think overall, it's a pretty easy map overall. Like honestly, if I had to rank it, I'd probably put it like among the intermediate maps. As I feel like this is on the level of like, let's say like Rake or Shoots. Although I guess Shoots could be cheesed or can be cheesed with Apache Prime. That's a pretty good strategy for that map. And I guess Apache Prime wouldn't really work too well here. So I guess I can kind of see why. As well as you do have kind of limited space as well, you know. You can't really put any spike factories on this map, I don't believe. Alright, now that we got tier 4 Alchemist, I'm going to go in for our Embrittlement kind of right here. Now I could put it right here, but I feel like if I did put Embrittlement kind of right here, that would mean that, you know, we wouldn't really be getting like, you know, the extra damage, you know, coming from this lane too. Sure, this does mean that the +1 is getting applied later here. This does make this mean that this side's a little bit better. Okay, now that we got Embrittlement on the field, we can honestly just kind of save up straight for Tack Zone. It's only like 21.6. So we are going to be able to afford it before around 63. We're probably going to afford it like around, I think like 58, 59-ish, which is perfect. We afford it before the BFB comes in, but even if the BFB comes in, if we don't afford Tack Zone before then, we should have no problem taking down the BFB. Alright, so we're pretty close to Tack Zone. A pretty easy, I guess, mid-game so far. Like, you know, mid-game's like not even over yet. We still have like another like 22 rounds of mid-game here. And so I do need some ceramic cleanup. So what I've kind of chosen is a Bloon solver. The reason being is I don't really feel like solver gets enough love. Not really a appreciated tier 5 here, but I can kind of see why. I don't really think solver is really too amazing of an option. I still think it's kind of just meh. Not really worth going for. But in this area, why not try it out? I think it'd be pretty fun. Now I do think like, you know, Spirit of the Forest would be better for kind of ceramic cleanup on this map, just due to having like, you know, global range. And I do think it would do more damage to mob class balloons, but it's not as fun. Or at least not as fun in my opinion. Just because we don't really kind of see a whole lot of Bloon solve on a lot of harder maps. Even beginner maps, you don't really see Solver used too often. It's just not really used tier 5. Anyways, we're going to go in for bottom crosspath because Pierce isn't really needed on this guy. Also, don't leak that blue. Just use that. And so I think this defense could easily save up for kind of Bloon Solver here. And I think we'd probably be able to get up Bloon Solver before like the 80s roll in, which would be perfect. As we are going to struggle a little bit against Super Ceramics, but we will have, I guess, a sort of harder and easier time at the same time. As like, you know, Tack won't really be using a whole lot of Pierce on the kind of ceramics and more on the Moabs, just due to, you know, Super Ceramics only having one child, I should say. The downside that is, you know, Super Ceramics do have more health, which Tack doesn't really do too well against ceramics. Now, 75 was a prom round in my kind of previous attempts where I did black border this. 75 is a pretty interesting round because I didn't really... 75 was kind of never on my radar before, but like now they kind of start blackboarding a lot of these harder maps, like 75 has genuinely been tough sometimes. I do kind of wonder why that is. I might think it might something to do with like leads and then followed by BFBs, so that if you don't have like any like lead defense, I guess, ready, it can block damage on the BFBs. I guess that's kind of my theory why. Or maybe it's just like a really dense round, who knows. But I would kind of like to see, kind of understand, like, you know, why 75 is sometimes hard. Okay, we gotta use level 10 there. Didn't really want to. It's fine, we don't really need level 10 for 76. Tack can handle this round just fine. And then we get Solver this round, so we don't really need to worry about 78. Yeah, like as you saw there, we almost died twice on 75. That didn't happen in my previous attempt, so I guess some sort of RNG factor is involved here. So it's not really surprising. But yeah, like, you know, like I said earlier, like, you know, 75 just kind of like a sneakily hard round. When usually like on a lot of easier maps, it's like trivial, nothing too, I guess, bad. But like harder maps, I have genuinely died to that round like multiple times. Now, I do want to go for Super Brittle next. I think we'll have enough money to go for Brittle and MIB before round 90. The reason why we're going to go for MIB for if we have like Brittle on the field for like de-leading is because I don't really trust this guy to kind of de-lead every single DDT. And with the limited time we'll have to beat DDTs, I just don't really kind of believe in the power of Brittle for like de-leading. Maybe if this map was a bit longer, yeah, I'd trust it, but for this map, definitely no. Well, it's a Glue Storm, I think would be a little bit better. I don't really want to go for Glue Storm just because multiple glues don't really stack. Now that I have Bloon Solver on the field, I feel like getting Glue Storm would be kind of a nerf. Alright, the ZMG goes down pretty easily. Nice. And I do think, you know, the 80s should be a little bit easier than the, like the pre-80s. As we can now start to see the power of, like, you know, solving just absolutely shredding ceramics. Now, after I get MIB and Super Brittle, I think I'll go for Overclock next. I think Overclock is a pretty decent option with Tack. And if I can get Overclock and Call to Arms, I can kind of cycle abilities, which would also be pretty good. So like whenever Call to Arms is on cooldown, I could use Overclock to carry me to the next Call to Arms ability. And then when Overclock is on cooldown, I can use Call to Arms to carry me to the next Overclock ability. Even though like the cooldowns for Overclock and Call to Arms are different, I still think it can work. Let's get Brittle now. And then we'll get MIB next. I would have liked to go for primary training, but I just don't feel like I could do that. I feel like I need MIB for this run. Alright, BFB, or not BFB, ZMG should be no problem. Perfect. Alright, MIB now. Let's get, I guess, I don't know, Overclock right here. Doesn't really matter where, it's not like I have any discounts on the field. Alright, let's go for Cleansing Foam. And I'll target it here, because I do believe that Cleansing Foam does slow down balloons. Or I guess I should maybe target Cleansing Foam kind of as close to Tack as possible, so that way Tack has more time to do damage. I guess that'd make more sense. But fun fact, yes, more fun facts with Person 87. Did you know that once upon a time, Cleansing Foam could slow down bads? Yes. When Cleansing Foam could first, I guess, slow down Mob class balloons by like a tiny bit, it did work on bad balloons when it first came out. This was actually due to a bug Of course, unintended, there'd be no way Ninja Q would allow like bad slowdown on on this upgrade as well. But yeah, that's a pretty, I guess, interesting thing. DT should again be no problem. Perfect. Definitely a pretty interesting bug to kind of see in real time. Seeing Guitar being able to slow down a bad. Anyways, overclock is coming up pretty soon. We'll definitely have it up before 95, which is the round I am kind of worried about. A lot of DTs that round. 99 is also kind of another problem round. Hopefully 95 won't be too bad. Now I do believe I need to use overclock on round 94, as our round is kind of dense. Or looking, let's see, yeah, there's ZMGs here, I'll just use it now. And then since 95 does take a while for the DTs to come in, the overclock should come up before the DTs roll in. Okay, almost died again. Sada, could you please do a little bit better at catching ceramics or leaks? That'd be wonderful. So I guess, who knows, maybe Sada is a little bit better than Quincy on this match, just because Leaping Sword can kind of catch any strays. And then I think we'll have a little bit more money after Call to Arms, so I guess I could invest in a Bloon Sabo. Alright, DT's rolling now. Use overclock immediately, and this should just work straight up here. Yep, perfect. Not even close. And we kind of had, like, you know, Call to Arms up a little bit, or not Call to Arms, overclock up for a bit of 96, which is perfect. Not that 96 would be anything too difficult. ZMG, should I use it? No, because I think we need overclock 497. Because I definitely do need some damage to kind of burst down the fortified ZMG here. Round 97 is also another run that's been sneakily hard as well. 2 fortified ZMGs are a lot more tough than I originally thought they were. Like on easier maps, like 2 FZMGs is like nothing, but like harder maps where you don't have a lot of time, you know. 2 FZMGs is actually like sneakily hard. Okay, more leaks. Perfect. Hopefully I don't need to use Call to Arms for this part here, as I need to save that for 98. I will use level 10 if I need to. Alright, we're fine, perfect. Hopefully we can save enough for Bloon Sabo. I don't think we can. I guess there's probably ways to go for, but we should be fine for 100, honestly. I'll use this immediately, and I'll use this, I believe, yeah. I'll use all my abilities here. Use Sabo, get Sabo. I guess we'll have Sabo up for 99, which isn't a problem. Alright, so we got rid of all the ZMGs, so it's just stuff on this side. I kind of want to stall this round if I can. Well, I guess I can't really stall it at this point. You know, we'll have Sabo up for 99, so... use that. Catch more strays. Okay, so we'll have Call to Arms and Overclock up for rounds 100. Alright, I'll use Sabo immediately. I'll use Overclock, just to make sure we're safe. And if we beat this round fast enough, we can have Overclock and Call to Arms up for 100, which we do. Perfect. And then hopefully we're fine here. Alright, pop that pretty quickly. And perfect. Easy. Just like the first time. We got more Beast Handler instas. Nice. And surprisingly, just like last time, Tackstone didn't really do a whole lot of damage here. Didn't even get a crack a million. It's kind of surprising. So I guess work was kind of equally split between all the monkeys here. And surprisingly, Super Brittle actually did outpace Sada quite a bit in terms of damage here, which is kind of surprising, honestly. Solver also, I guess, did try to keep up a little bit with Tackstone, but of course Tackstone did do a little bit better here. But Solver and Super Brittle not really too far off, but like Solver versus Brittle or Solver did do some work. So yeah, that was pretty fun. If you enjoyed, you know, like, comment, subscribe, and join Discord. Link is down below in the description. Have a nice day, everyone.